weight doesn't matter when it comes to isolation exercises. I know that may sound like a bit of an extreme opinion. However, I do think that this is true. Think about when you were doing curls, whether that be barbell or dumbbell versions. If you do too much weight, what's going to happen? Normally what's going to happen is you're going to involve other muscles, like the shoulders and back. Even on rare occasion, the triceps, when you're trying to do a heavy PR on a move in particular like curls. However, if you lower the weight and you concentrate more on form, do more of a high rep scheme, you'll probably notice better results. I've been lifting for over 10 years now, and I have noticed that this is normally the case. This is also especially the case when it comes to lateral raises. I notice whenever I lower the weight, instead of doing 10 to 20 pounds, if I only do a couple pounds to 10 pounds, I notice that for some odd reason, my shoulder muscles at least slightly appear to be a bit more in shape, a bit more developed, as opposed to whenever I would lift more weight. Why is that? Because whenever I do heavier weight on lateral raises, for example, and I do too much weight, at least, I notice that I involve other muscle groups more, such as triceps and the trapezius muscle. Now, this is not a one-size-fits-all approach and form of advice, but I will say that I feel like there's some truth in this advice. If you've ever heard of the great legend Eugene Sandow, he actually applied this similar philosophy. However, Eugene Sandow, I'm not sure, was very specialized in compound lifts. I am very specialized in compound lifts. That to me is what I credit my results to. You may say, oh, you don't really have any results. For someone with bad genetics, I personally think I have good results. I don't have great results, that's because of my genetics, but considering all of the conditions that I have, I think I have amazing results. And I would even go as far to say that my physique is actually better than at least half of people out there. So it's better than a lot of people in the world when it comes to physical aesthetics. I credit that though to my specialization on two things, which is heavy compound lifts and then ultra light isolation work. And that's kind of where I can sometimes meet people in the middle, because a lot of people I already know who may see this are going to say, what are you talking about? You should be lifting at least 20 pounds on something like curls and or lateral raises. I'll say I don't agree, because if you're doing heavy compound lifts, that is enough to get in enough load on your muscles. Like they say, compound lifts are the base of the cake. The isolation movements are the icing. Basically, the big lifts are the meat and potatoes, and the toppings and sauces, that is the isolation work. So try to think about this when you are pursuing your fitness journey.